Welcome to the podcast. Like I said, we don't know the name. I'm Vance. It's TJ. We have previously did a podcast pre-pandemic. Did it for like 5-6 years. Now we are getting our feet back in the game. We had some life things going on, which kind of made it impossible to record. If obviously the pandemic being one of them, we were a guest reliant type of show. We did, well, not really reliant, but that was like a big part of it. So now we're going to try to put our foot in the game and do it a little differently this time. Get topics narrowed down, be more concise, and the whole 9 yards. So we're working, we're growing. We're going to give a layout today, which may be the permanent, may not be the permanent. We may tug and pull from what the topics we actually speak on. But today we have 6 topics we'll get into, and your opening statement. And a lot has gone on since the last couple of weeks. Obviously, Sanders is the biggest thing going on right now. Shannon Sharp being in the controversy that he's in, Shedeur Sanders going 4 rounds until he's drafted, which was 5 rounds.
He was in the 5th.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So it went 5 rounds before he was actually drafted, and he was projected to be a number 1 pick. And we got a couple of different fashion lines not fashion lines, but shoes, just fashion topics, I should say, we can speak on. So yeah. With that being said, what you got to say to open up the show with, brother?
And bump you, man. It is me. And I thought I was talking to my brother Slim, so we kind of shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? We can get back onto the show. You know?
Yeah. Hey.
Or we just grown men with grown bullets. You know what I'm saying? Grown man money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nah, shout out Michael B. I'm over here playing around.
Yeah, Michael B. did his thing. Michael, yeah. Oh, Dave, make your opening statement, man. Introduce yourself, give a brief rundown.
Man, what's cracking? What's good, man? We back. That's all, man. Yeah, Vance got all the formalities. I'm his little off friend, you know what I'm saying? We've been knowing each other for years. A little bit of energetic, a little bit of cool, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Welcome back.
Right. For those who have been sticking around from the beginning, this is a new iteration. This is like when Daredevil went away from Netflix for 4 or 5 years, 6 years, and they brought it back. Yeah, so we're going to work out the kinks and we're going to try
Name's Antonio, for those who don't know, a.k.a. TJ.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to set up the social media for people to find this, but on YouTube, for this first episode, the name, we're going back and forth with the name. I don't want to say it currently at the moment, so we'll open up with that from here on out. But first topic is the weekly rundown, recap of the biggest sports moments, movie releases, TV shows premieres, and major fashion drops. So, I guess I'll start it off. Weekly rundown. So this week, like we kind of said it briefly speaking in the opening, the NFL draft went down. We'll start with sports. Shedeur Sanders, former Colorado quarterback, former Jackson State quarterback. He went to 2 programs that were barren, desolate, not very prominent in today's current era, and he jumped around along with Travis Hunter and Deion Sanders, but he was at the forefront running the program. And it's crazy. We spoke briefly earlier today about how he slipped from being projected
top 10, top 5.
Yeah, exactly. A top 5 potential pick to sliding all the way to the 5th round. Now, I've kind of been watching the circuit of giving excuses. Why? What did you do? What did you do? So they're saying he interviewed pretty badly. The fact that Coach Prime said he didn't know, or he didn't really want him to play at certain teams, which is a crazy statement because there's only a handful of teams. There's only like 7 teams that actually need quarterbacks that you can immediately play.
Right.
So that kind of rubbed people the wrong way. And his talent doesn't jump off the screen, even though if you watch the film, you're like, okay, this guy, he can make all the NFL passes that he needs to make. So that it's just all a bit strange. We've seen people are saying it's collusion. People are saying it's personal. Me personally, I think it's a collection of things, and the NFL has historically humbled people who they felt were arrogant and not really, the talent didn't really afford them that arrogancy. So that's just me.
Prior to entering the league and while in the league, they've done that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we can name multiple players who have been humbled while in the league, while being exceptionally elite at whatever position they play, but they don't like the charisma, they don't like the attitude, they don't like what comes with that type of person, which has always been daunting to me because
you're a receiver, so you
but even with that, I put in the work.
Sure, I mean that's only part of it.
No.
They want you to be a proper employee. They want you to come in there buttoned up and ready to go.
I put in the work.
Sure.
The film is taped.
Yeah.
You see I'm a baddie. When I come on the scene, the aura is baddie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you want to humble me just because I'm exactly what you want? That's weird.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, granted, I use that example just to keep it extremely surface level. But if we really want to take it there as far as the sports go, like, okay, my man ain't starving for money.
No.
He's not. I wouldn't even say he's not buttoned up because I mean, outside of what these teams are, what they think about Shedeur, what they said about Shedeur, whatever the case may be that played into him not being drafted where he was supposed to be.
Right.
I want to say he really didn't do anything, but like you said, if we're just gonna really take into all factors that could have really hurt him, okay, the interview process, but for the most part, like, even with Travis did almost the same thing. Granted, Travis is more athletically gifted, but if we're just talking about what's on film, if we're talking about character, if we're talking about what that player has to offer any organization, like, what is the difference between Shedeur being drafted high, Travis being drafted high, Cam being drafted high?
I mean, that's pretty easy. Travis is a Heisman Trophy winner, so that's going to put him in a totally different kind of category.
Okay.
Just skill-wise, how you're perceived, your resume, all of those things. Just like you coming in for a job interview and they're looking at your resume. Oh, you got a 4-year degree, you got a master's, bachelor's, and then they're looking at a guy who might just have one of those or the bare minimum. So, yeah, that's going to put Travis totally different, totally different in my opinion.
Okay.
That's not even a question.
Okay.
He was guaranteed top 3 pick. Cam Ward, talent-wise, it's just, if you look at the arm strength, the athletic ability, playmaking ability, yeah, he's a top 5. He's a top 3 pick. Shedeur, you can say a lot of things that would not lead in that favor. So
loaded accolades, outside of the Heisman, loaded accolades, just like Cam, established, new and broke multiple records at Colorado that stood for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
behind players who have also went to the league and established their names in the league.
Of course.
I'll give you Travis just simply because skill player, Heisman, like all the things that you said, he definitely, to me, can bring more to a team just because of the positions that he played opposed to quarterback. But aside from that, all right, cool. I'll give you that. Now, with that being said, for those two to be taken ahead of Shedeur, which is cool, I wouldn't trip on that. We were definitely rooting for them as well.
Right.
Who ain't not now one of these quarterbacks in the draft touching Shedeur?
No, they're not. If we take our Cam and Travis, like you said, then that's where the question marks come in. So
we're proving a point that we know y'all want to prove. We've seen you prove time and time again.
Yeah. But
this is more. Maybe because it's the draft, it was so much in our faces to where it's just like, bruh, we've seen numerous type of guys y'all tried to humble for way more. Shedeur is squeaky clean.
Yeah, I've been trying to make up the reasons why. I don't really think there's a great reason. I just think
the attitude, bro.
Yeah. I mean it's hard for me to speak on that side. I can just lay out what I did lay out about certain things that might have rubbed them the wrong way. But as far as the film and the talent, it doesn't make sense to me that he went as far. I was thinking the second round, okay, cool, he's for sure.
Right, for sure.
Then he goes 3 more rounds until he's picked. It's like, wow, that's crazy. And the team he went to they drafted another rookie QB
Exactly, the dude from Oregon, which he's decent. Don't get me wrong.
He's not better than Shedeur, though.
I'm about to say, on film, I'm gonna just call it, and I do think Oregon is a well-oiled machine after the season that they had this year. I mean, they've always been, worth mentioning every season that comes around, along, not just for, the program, but, the uniforms, the swag, all that. But they do have good teams from time to time, for the most part, and they were in the playoffs. So I'm not going to take credit away from them because of that quarterback getting drafted.
Right.
However, because he did put up great stats, they had great players and all that.
Yeah.
He's not touching Shedeur, bro.
Right. If you put them if you put Shedeur on Oregon and put him on Colorado,
any of these quarterbacks, bro. Yeah, exactly. Any of these quarterbacks, nobody's making everything they're trying to talk about against Shedeur as to why he could slip this far. If they're not going to talk about bad interviews and his attitude and cockiness or whatever.
Right.
He makes the plays outside the pocket. We've seen him make plays in the pocket. We've seen him make plays on the run. We've seen him make plays out of nothing. We've seen him develop the play while everything lacks except for the skill players.
Yeah, and he had literally no run game. Like, that was the most frustrating part about that whole team.
Bro, how many times did these dudes break 100 yards rushing a game, bro? Not
Genty.
As a team. I'm not even talking about, one running back for the game.
Right.
How many times did they have 100 rushing yards for the game? Not a lot.
Genty himself, I think he had in one game
more rushing yards than Colorado probably
ever had in the whole season. Not like rushing yards over the season before a particular game. Every one of his games, he had more rushing yards than they had as a team.
Exactly.
So that alone, and you can see some crazy stats in college, but that
I'm trying to figure out.
Crazy.
Is that really the O-line being that bad, or them running backs aren't really what
I think it's both, a little bit both. Because Prime is he's not getting the top tier guys. Skill position, I feel like there's just so many of them out there.
If your quarterback's decent, you can patriot your way to a
crazy.
Playoff or at least a bowl game. You can patriot system your way.
Crazy how many receivers or not DBs, but receivers there are across the nation to bring in transfer portal. A lot of those guys that transferred had decent careers at the former teams they were at. Like, they weren't horrible. Like, they played in the whole 9 yards. They just ended up coming there. Running backs is a little different. Offensive line is really different. So I just think it gives you a bad feeling about the NFL. It's like, ew, that was kind of gross how they treated him. But we've seen it so many times. We've seen it with Terrell once going to the Hall of Fame, and then he's not being the first ballot. He's got number two or three statistically.
No off the field.
And every
nothing. Yeah.
Right. Just
like I was saying earlier, I don't know what did Deion do that was so bad during his tenure.
No, it wasn't his tenure. I literally just listened to somebody comment on it. It was just what he said leading up to about Shedeur.
Really wasn't teams?
Yeah, really wasn't about
the Archie.
Yeah. So, closing statements. What do I think about the guys coming out of this draft? Outside of Shedeur, I think Shedeur will have a very good chance to play this year. I think maybe he'll get some time to develop, but Watson and Flacco, it's Joe.
Oh, it's over.
Joe. Come over. As soon as they get the NFL can get him out the league, he's gone and never coming back. Joe Flacco is a bridge quarterback. Yeah, because he was out the league for a couple. Well, maybe not a couple years, but he was.
He's been on rotation. Like, he's been playing. It's just a matter of whoever they.
He's been called in late.
For. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like, he'll be like, "Hey, we just need you to help keep the team on track."
Sure,
get Youngin back on.
He took Quentin Richardson's spot, which
exactly.
Not Quentin Richardson, Anthony Richardson's spot, which is just nuts. He played better with the Browns after Deshaun got hurt. So it was just he's. I like Joe.
Deion said Joe old as me.
Yeah, exactly. I like Joe. He's just not.
Shout out Bucky.
He's just not he's not the future, obviously. And then the other two rookies is going to be between Shedeur and the other rookie to take over that position. Travis, I'm very curious. I'm very nervous about how his career will play out because Jacksonville is not a very stable organization. Trevor Lawrence he showed flashes, but I don't know.
He's not it.
They signed the contract, so he's going to be there for a while. I don't know if he's actually the future. I think
his Clemson hype was so crazy.
Yeah, it was. I think he can be good, but I don't think he's going to be a number one draft worthy. And then with Cam Ward, I think he got his work laid out for him because Tennessee's not good.
He can throw though, and they got decent weapons.
Definitely
decent weapons. As long as if he has a decent O-line offensively, they can make it look good on TV.
I'm not disagreeing with nothing you're saying. I'm just saying the organization-wise, Tennessee is shy. We don't know their decision making as an organization,
right.
Players they bring in,
and they don't have an identity at all, right?
Right. Now. So because not yesterday, but last year was just atrocious from their quarterback. So he's immediately going to be better than what they had. And then Genty going to the Raiders, I'm a little nervous. I think if their offensive line is decent, he'll be fine. But I think he'll be. I think he'll be a good NFL player.
Who are their receivers right now? I don't even remember.
Yeah, we would have to look it up. But yeah, so
I do think Geno was a good
Geno's good
for the Raiders.
He's good.
He's definitely gotten way better and developed more since his first few years in the league.
Sure. Yeah, because he's like our age.
So that's what I'm saying. Listen, because Geno was with the Giants when Keon was there.
Right.
And we might have talked about it off camera, and he just let us know, like, but he's definitely I definitely paid attention to him last year, so I do think that's a good pickup along with Genty. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why I was like thinking about the receivers. Like if they got decent playmakers,
they do. I just can't think of his name. I think they have one guy. No, I'm thinking of Devontae Adams. No,
I was about to say he left.
He left.
Shout out Rams gang. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they picked him up. That would be a good pickup. But I
wish we would have got Shedeur.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, what about Cam and who else? With Travis, what do you foresee for those two?
For Travis, I don't know, just because I really want him to be able to play both sides of the ball so we can just see what it looks like if he's able to do it. If he is able to do it, for sure, that's what's up, right on. If he's not able to do it, I really don't know what side of the ball I want to see him on, because he is really nice at corner, but I really want to see how he fares against the top of the top.
Right.
When it comes to guys who really get off the ball, guys who really make plays regardless.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In college, I didn't see too many plays made on him. Plays that were made on him.
Plays made on him. Don't get it twisted.
The plays that we did see made on him, because they were ran over and over again because it's Travis, which is old boy out of Arizona who just came to the Panthers. Shout out McMillan. He is nice.
Yeah.
Still needs to be polished a little bit more in certain areas, but he is nice.
Right.
He banged on Travis once, but Travis was on him the whole game. Like, it wasn't even, you know what I mean? Like that, and that one touchdown, again, it's like Kobe versus Jordan in the sense of basketball, where certain people gonna get their shots off, but both of them are gonna play each other enough to where, it's a missed bucket here, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I ain't gonna go that far. I'm gonna just say high level players. They ain't gotta be necessarily Kobe and Jordan. The high level players, you're gonna get off. It doesn't matter. Like Jefferson, somebody's gonna jam him good a couple times. Like, and he's gonna. And if you're elite,
he's gonna bang on you or get a big catch here and there.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just want to see how he fares with that on both sides of the ball.
Right. Yeah.
If he's even able to do it as a receiver, for sure. Like, I know you can catch, I know you quick twitch, I know you fast, but can you really get into the fine details of this position, just like corner, which to me is extremely natural for him.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. I think he's more natural for corner.
Techniques and all that.
Way more natural for corner. I think he's going to have to be primarily one or the other, and he's going to. There's no way he holds up having to tackle Saquon and Henry and the boys out of the Lions.
Physical all game, both sides.
There's no way.
18 games, 17, whatever it is.
If you want a 7-year career, fine.
Right.
Fine.
Like, you're gonna have to adapt, bro.
Yeah, but if you really want to be in this for the longevity,
Deion couldn't even do it that long.
No, he couldn't. He
had packages.
Yeah, exactly. First, we've never seen what we've seen with Travis, but we're not.
But let's also be clear about this, because for people who don't understand how football really works, like, Travis had the stats on both sides of the ball. But also, don't get it twisted. Like, a lot of plays, because there wasn't even a run game to be able to open up the pass game, how I'm pretty sure Colorado would have preferred to.
Right.
It was a lot of forcing.
Oh, they had to.
Like,
Travis, that was the only option.
He barely and
not just throwing, not just Travis.
No,
they had a decent, both years. They had a decent core.
But
for sure.
Of course, due to injury, like, he kind of fell, and like his stats kind of fell off a little bit from the trajectory that they had for the first few games.
Right.
So it was a real push to get him over that 1,000 yards, and through people like me and Vance and others who really understand football, we also understand why LeJohntay wasn't able to get off as much as he probably could have,
right.
Especially Jimmy, who should have had a way better year than he did.
Outside of injury. Right.
Yeah. Outside of them forcing the ball to Travis, like, Jimmy was still a major threat, of course, based off his speed.
Yeah.
And I think LeJohntay still almost touched the stack. So that's a testament to the entire skill room. But just as far as Travis, like, yeah, he could be a 1,000-yard receiver, but any receiver we have to force the ball to, you know what I'm saying, as far as the game plan goes, to be able to get certain stats, like, I pay attention to that because that lets me know if you'll really translate over to the league.
Yeah, I agree.
OBJ wasn't getting forced the ball like that his first few years. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
I don't think we never seen a situation like Travis was in. The line and the running game was so bad,
and that's how good he was because of that too.
Yeah, it's not even quantifiable for what a lot of different guys that we've seen play because they at least had one of the other, if not both.
Right.
A lot of those guys went in SEC. A lot of the top guys come out of the SEC. So, the Big Ten with Ohio State and all them.
SEC and Big Ten.
Yeah,
and then ACC. I think it's third. I think that's the best rank.
Yeah, ACC is definitely third in all that because Ohio State,
Michigan, all them
juggernauts. But anyway, we're gonna move right into the next topic. Hopefully, I'm rooting for all those guys, and along with Jimmy Horn and Wester.
Speaking of, because Shedeur got drafted today. We know Travis went first, but LeJohntay got picked up today. Jimmy Horn got picked up today. Jimmy went to the Panthers. LeJohntay went to Baltimore.
Right.
Again, just like you said, closing this out. Shout out to Colorado. Shout out to Coach Prime. The last 2 years of college football, honestly, it'll still be. I still tap in, but I know you wasn't.
Yeah, I wasn't
tapping like that prior.
I think a lot of people, a large portion of the viewership was affected by them going to Colorado for sure.
But to see what they were able to do in 2 years, how they were able to amplify college football a little bit more than what it has been over these last few years. I hate they didn't get to a playoff within them 2 years, but being able to see them go from Jackson State to Colorado, pick up a couple guys who we also were able to grow fond of, and also see them through their journey to now actually be picked up. Shout out Bucky, man. We appreciate everything that y'all did just for the culture, for college football. And shoot, I'm really excited to see what's the next for all them dudes, man. I don't know if it's going to be up with Colorado, but it's a couple guys that I'm still interested to see.
For sure. Fitz Kicks of the week. We're going to break down the best athlete outfits, celebrity fashion moments, sneaker releases, and or red carpet looks. There was no red carpet looks this week. There was no celebrity fashion moments. We just want to speak straight on releases. We're going to start out with the bread lows. Now, I'm shocked.
Ones or 11s?
11s. I was shocked that you said you didn't like them because
I don't like 11 lows.
Bruh, how can you say that? Like, I know you. You love the snakeskin red and black joints with the gray.
Oh, the navy blues?
No.
Snakeskin? What you mean?
No.
What you mean?
We're going to have to just go into it. But anyway.
Oh, no. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm glad you brought that up.
Right.
So he's talking about, I don't even think there's like a name for him or anything is like that, but when it comes to the low top 11s, you got the low top 11s with the patent leather, and then you got the low top 11s with like the, what is it, snake skin and the net, what's it called when Nike uses like the net material? I forget. But anywho, for sneakerheads, y'all know what I'm talking about. I prefer the latter, over the patent leather 11s. Why? I don't know unless it's the actual navy blue snake skin or pink snake skin low top 11s. Like those are the patent leathers I would rock.
These are the ones you
had. Yeah. Those I rock with. I don't rock with the patent leather ones unless, like I said, it's the snakeskin pink or navy blue.
Right.
But outside of that, I don't like how it looks as a low, bro. Like when you tie. When I see people rock the shoe and they tie it up, whether you actually play in it or you really rock it, it just looks funky when you tie it up because the laces are fat. The shoe itself is a kind of a bulkier shoe than the 11 that I'm talking about. Those are a lot slimmer. And the shoestrings are slimmer, and to me, they were always a little bit more fashionable. That's just me. So yeah, I know you like. How can I say the bread? That's just how I always been.
Because aren't you a fan of the bread 11s?
I'm a fan of the 11 period, right? But just not the lows. Like even bread, it took me a minute to come around to these low top ones. Jordan ones.
I thought they were always dope. I just the colorways. We didn't have that many colorways coming up. So it take a colorway for something. We knew the model was dope. It just takes some time to take a colorway to be like, oh, okay, I see. Like I'm rocking with them.
The patent leather 11s. Like it's slim around the ankle, but because of how big it is when you get to your actual foot, like it has a lean to it. If that makes sense.
Sure. I'm just not an 11s guy like that. I think they're okay. If I don't know, I doubt they'll sell out. I think they're rockable. I think if money was no object and I would just could rack up as many sneakers, I would have them in a collection. It just I don't know if. I would never buy. I'd never go on my way to buy them.
I was about to say, if you've seen a pair of low top 11s in my closet, bro, I promise you, we had to be somewhere in another state, just chilling, having fun, and I just wanted to shop or like, I need some shoes to wear just to walk around, throw around. I'll probably buy some if money wasn't an object.
Yeah, right.
And even still, I wouldn't just have all the low top 11. You know how some sneaker people just, when they get the bread, they just go cop all of it. It's just like, no, I'm gonna still be selective. Because it's never been about that for me. It's never been about having all the kicks. It's about having the kicks.
Right. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. I probably wouldn't buy them. I probably would just leave them. Actually, it definitely wouldn't be a cop for me. Now that you said that, because hell, if I could have any shoe just laying around, it probably wouldn't be too many shoes I wouldn't get.
You know.
But if we going on that, if that's the premise, like will we actually rock them? Yeah, I'm cool on them. But hell, I'm cool on the high tops. So
11s.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Space Jams is the only ones I.
Oh yeah, you don't have no 11s. I done seen you.
Yeah,
just run through multiple Jordans over the years. I've never seen with no 11s.
I would love to have some Space Jams.
I had some 11s when I moved down here. I had the Space Jams and I had some Shoe Mans. I had the Lime.
Oh yeah, remember? Yeah, for sure.
Those are actually kind of fire, and they held up for a long time.
Yeah, it's weird how the Shoe Mans have they've actually become colorways. It's just insane. Drake had an 11 that come out. Well, not come out, but it leaked. It was a sample.
With the blue, the all blue.
No. It was the 11. They were all white. I'm a
gold touching.
Yeah, they had a gold trim on them. They had a little bit different patent leather pattern on them. Like it was like it had some designs on them, I should say, on the patent leather. First of all, yeah, they're definitely a pass. They kind of look like the Countdown pack, just reversed. The soles are like a gum bottom.
I wish we could go back to them times.
Yeah, right. Or not the Countdown pack, the DMP. The
Defining Moments pack. Yeah. That's the one with the double, right? The double shoes.
It had. I think it was the 6s and the 11s.
Did you have because we was in college at that time? I think
never.
Did you were you paying for two shoes? Like was it a $400 or $450? Whatever? Oh, okay.
They released them recently separately, but at that time you can only buy them in the pack.
I wanted the black and gold 6s sold, but I seen T.I. with them on in the what you call it video. You can have whatever you like or yeah, it is what you can have whatever you like.
Yeah,
man, you know it ain't.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, what I was going to say was, regardless of what you want to say, the A minor line kind of tainted Drake, and it's just crazy. Went to the comments.
I didn't think so.
That's all they talked about. Went to the comments. That's all they talked about. Like the A minor thing, the PD file thing, all of that was replete in the comments. I'm like, yo, yeah, I'm suing. I'm getting my money.
Nah, I feel him on that. It was affecting him like that. I really didn't think it was affecting him like that. Outside 100%. Of getting clowned of just he out rapping.
It's affecting his pockets 100%. But anyway, the shoe isn't that dope. Let's not get it twisted.
Oh, okay.
Some people were saying they prefer the 10s. You remember the 10s? Those are dope.
I actually all his OVO collabs decent.
Right. Matter of fact, I would say most of the Drake
I want his 8s.
Most of
OVO 8s. Need them.
Crazy. Most of his shoes are
the black and blue, the Kentucky.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Most of the shoes are cops. So, but the 11s, and I'll post show it on the screen so the audience will also know.
Mm-hmm.
They just weren't they didn't look that good. They didn't look that. I don't know if it was because it was an older sample. I know they weren't just made. The bottom was kind of hazy. It didn't look fresh. So for me, definitely not fooling with them. Damn, what did I say? Oh yeah, the LeBron Prime joints. What you think about those? Is I believe they.
Oh, with the strap.
Yeah, they're coming out soon. Because they look cool.
I think the silhouette. Yeah, I think the silhouette is cool. The collab is cool. Because for one, these last. I don't like the shoe right now. But the
regular LeBrons, nah.
Yeah,
hard pass.
But that shoe, that was the 21. He's on 22 this year, I think.
Yeah.
That might have been his most fashionable shoe outside of 1, 2, and 3 to me.
Yeah,
and the 7s.
It's one of them for sure. It's a dope look.
Like Braun shoes. For those who do know me, they know like I'm not real big on rocking. Shout out Dom, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I've never been big on rocking bronze outside of hooping. I've had a few LeBron basketball shoes throughout my hooping tenure, but and that's just recreational play. Just getting a feel for them, see how I like them. But to rock, nah. But those primes do look nice. I would hoop in them just because it's a LeBron hoop shoe. I do like the silhouette of them. I like the colorways and the strap is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a dope looking basketball shoe, but that's all I would use it for.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like Wale will freak them though for sure, but I
mean, he got a little foot, bro.
I could rock them like the prime. Excuse me.
I
could rock them like Prime's trainers. Yeah. Like I'm cool with that. Yeah. But just if we about to get fresh and bust a move or something, like a little basketball shorts or some sweats and a white tee, like that's it.
That'll be tough.
But good collab, good shoe. I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, the Nike Rejuvenate is coming out with some different colorways, and I just want to bring them up. I was in the mall and somebody walked me down. Yo, how did you
They restocked, I think, this week or last week. Gone.
Somebody hit me up. I mean, not hit me up, but older couple was like, "Yo, we trying to cop them. How they feel? This, that, and the other. We don't like Crocs for real, which I feel them. Base level Crocs. I don't like.
What happened?
No, they were just like they wanted to know.
No, I'm talking about with the Crocs.
Not the Soleil Crocs. I'm talking about the base
original.
Level. Yeah, I just don't like them. After Soleil freaked them, I was like, I can never go back. I can't even look at them the same way. They're not really fashionable to me.
They never were. It was just relaxed. You know what I'm saying?
It
to me, just replace the slides. Like Vans knows. I've said it multiple times, but I had a pair of Crocs back in 2010. It wasn't a popular name on them. It was just I got them from some sort of convenience store for maybe like $5-6, bro. Turn around, I go to college, I leave them at the crib. My mom just wears them around the house, do yard work and stuff. Like, we not thinking nothing about them. I look up 4-5 years later, everybody and their mama got a pair of Crocs.
Yeah, super viral.
Like, it was crazy.
Action Bronson, I know you don't fool with him.
He cool. You don't like. Not on the music tip, but the food tip for sure.
I fool with him all around. I think he's dope.
You throw the music on though, it's a vibe.
Yeah. He definitely got some. He definitely got some tracks. But he's been a major collab. He's been a major collaborator with New Balance. And
yeah. That I know.
Hold you. Lot of flame to me. I don't know if you're a fan of him, but he is restocking pretty much his whole line. All his collabs he's done with New Balance recently. He's having a pop up in NYC.
I gotta see.
We're not gonna have no access to it, but
no, of course not.
It is something that is coming very soon.
Joe Fresh Goods or Action Bronson?
What
shoes?
Say it again.
I said Joe Fresh Goods or Action Bronson?
Joe Fresh Goods. And you would have to brush my memory up.
You ain't, all right. Well, you can keep going on while I put them up.
We got some new glides. We got an all black and a reverse gray and black. I know you thought those were the most decent pair of drinks that came out as far as the knock is concerned.
Oh, listen, outside of that, Jason Kidd collab colorway.
Yeah, they flipped it.
Oh, with the all black. Yeah, I see that.
No. They flipped it with the gray, where it's mostly white, and then it has some gray hits, rather than being like black, white, gray type situation.
These are all his collabs.
Oh yeah.
I want them to lay he's so bad, dog.
No, he's done those similar models. Literally, New Balance don't do like all new models. They just do whatever their models is, they let you make the materials, the colorways, and all that stuff.
Kind of like how Nike used to do Air Force Ones.
Yeah, he got there's like a peanut butter color fire.
Yeah.
Soleil, he goes so crazy.
Now listen, I'm aware of him, but I wasn't aware of him as who he was as a person. But like his shoes, all his designs, like I was like
crazy.
I wasn't like who did this. I was like, yo, this is fire.
Right. Yeah, no, Soleil, he's a dope. But that goes without saying. Those are dope though. Don't get me wrong. I think it's hard for me to. I couldn't pick either or because I was a New Balance guy from middle school and high school. I just laid off of them hard, and I'm recently now getting back on them. There's definitely a couple pairs I want to get back on. So I think he has the dope collab. J Fresh Goods. I think Bronson. Bronson. I'm thinking Jalen.
Mm-hmm.
Bronson. Action Bronson's is dope. Soleil, he's just dope. And there's several other collaborators, but New Balance is just hitting a whole nother stride. I like them.
I hate that they had gotten the hype that they did a few years back just because everything kind of went up. But that's just, I'm noticing that's just going across the board with shoes now because of social media, influencers, and like Get Ready With Me's and all these other stuff.
Yeah, them the Drakes. 11s just, I just like, I might as well show you. Like they kind of like DMVs, and they got the OVO on patent leather. That's pretty much the only thing. A lot of people wasn't feeling them.
I was about to say the patent leather design is the only thing I'm not feeling. Everything else with the shoe looks perfectly fine.
Yeah, because it's pretty much a DMV.
Like Drake, why would?
We know that he. See, the thing about the collaborations with him, I don't think he like hand picks them per se. I think they kind of just bring them to him. Like
I'd be mad at designers for that.
Right.
What makes y'all think we want that?
I don't even know. Right. Like Action and Soleil. I know Soleil, he does everything. I know Action is a heavy contributor to what is actually coming out. I just don't. It say OVO, but it might have just been like, yo, Drake, we got these for you. What you think? Type situation as well.
Jordan brand is so fire off the name alone,
right?
Like, and the shoes and the retro shoes to where y'all don't gotta do all that.
No, they don't.
When it's time to drop any Jordan, like
no, they don't.
Solid colorways, solid patterns. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a gimme. That look like a gimme. And I would like to think whether it's Jordan buyers or even Drake supporters, like that's a throwaway verse.
Yeah, in a sense. For sure. I agree.
Especially out of all the OVO collabs we've gotten, like, bro, out of all the songs Drake you made, you gonna give us something like that?
Well, and I ain't gonna blame him. I mean, like I said, I ain't gonna put that on Drake. They could have just bought him.
Well, I see what you're saying. But still,
Jordan
you could have said no.
Jordan brand.
But then again, we've seen Drake's fashion choices over the years. Yeah, so, but that's your man.
I don't condone a lot of things he puts out there. I can understand why Kendrick would say certain things about it. It's blatant. It's like, because if you're an African American, there's a certain culture we came up with that there's lines and things we just might not touch. Not saying that
what we put the logic that goes into your outfit and just knowing like, should I put this on? Because
it's about we gonna get clowned. The homie gonna let me have it type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Drake always had this thing where it's like he just don't care, and that's cool.
I think it's a stick. I think it's like it's his thing that he goes out his way to do.
This all started with I don't know if it was Stay Scheming or whatever Rick Ross Super DJ Khaled collab back in the day it was when he had on them black Tims and that short
no
combo. No New Friends, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's
when the whole fashion and Drake and like people making memes and clowning. Yeah,
because when he wrote the Como de Garçon cardigans that he wore with the heart on them, that was dope. You know what I'm saying? He was real humble. He has moments, but majority.
He was just rocking J's with that kind of fit.
Right. Ooh. That was the look in 2010. Yeah. 2020.
Kanye.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we ain't even gonna speak on that.
So we ain't even going.
Let's go and get into on the screen. So deep dive into any new movie, show, or even trending documentary. Give a review, hot take, predictions. This last week, it's been all taken over by Sanders. So we didn't get a chance.
Shout out Ryan.
And we're gonna talk about him in the next topic segment. Sanders, our review. I know it's 1 trillion reviews out there. I got homies that do content that just going so deep into the dang on content and the context of it that is devolving into a whole other conversation. But
for sure,
that's when you know you got a good movie. When everybody wants to talk about it, everybody wants to get their own take. My take is real quick. Ryan Coogler, if you know his pedigree, his history, you know the movies he's been associated with. He's put together Fruitvale Station, Black Panther, Creed 1, Wakanda Forever, now Sinners. Those are all very good movies. Pretty much big budget movies outside of this one. Pretty big movies in Fruitvale Station. So I had an expectation that it's going to be good when I saw the original trailers, which they gave away way too much of the trailers. I hate, that was the worst part of it for me. The trailer reveals too much, which a lot of trailers do these days. But great performances by everybody in the movie. Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, Delroy Lindo, the young Sammy, this is his first ever motion picture. The Asian couple was dope. The vampires were dope. Full blown spoilers at this point if you haven't seen the movie. So I forget the vampires' actual names. I forget the actors' names, but that's neither here nor there. They did a great job.
In the movie?
Yeah, and then the dude from 8 Mile was in it that played
Omar. Omar. I rock with
interesting.
Omar just in general when I see him on the screen. I like to see him on the screen.
I saw him doing a press run, but I didn't know it was for Sinners. I was like, oh, he's in the movie. So, yeah, I think it was a fantastic movie. I enjoyed it. I saw it twice. Saw it with a friend of mine. Then I went and seen it with the fam.
Damn,
So,
I ain't even went back yet. I'm sad.
very good experience. Very good. And what he incorporated, the messages he was trying to send, the whole 9 yards. I think it was wasn't a perfect movie, but it was a fun movie. It was a different take on a genre. It kind of blended a few genres. It was like a small musical elements. It was a vampire flick. Then it was a history type of flick. So
loved all the elements.
Yeah, he did a lot with that, with what he had. Ryan Coogler's phenomenal. We got to make sure we support him. It was 27% drop off in the second week, and if you don't know what that means, normally a big Marvel movie will come out, and in their heyday, they would have like a 60% drop off.
60 or 60?
60. That means that everybody went to go see it. But if you make it, they still made $1 billion for a lot of those movies. All it means is most of the people went the opening weekend. And it has legs continuing, but the audience that it garners is just going to have such a huge number. And that's kind of why Hollywood is kind of obsessed with the big tempo movies, like the big IPs and all those different things. So for Ryan to have the type of movie he has, to have only a 27%, that's like unheard of. That like never happens with any movie. So he's doing his thing. It's reacting, it has legs, and going to the second week is going to do numbers as well. So, and I'll get to that later. But yeah, shout out to Ryan Coogler, shout out to Michael B. I think this is one of Michael B's better performances. We got to see all aspects of him, all the things that he does well. He's a very good physical actor. The facial expressions are pretty good. You buy into how he feels in those moments, and the confidence, the ability, the range that he has is being super confident, with a bit of an edge to him, and then he has the player type element to him, smooth, suave guy as well. So did his thing. He carried the movie, and he had hella co-stars with him to bring it all the way home.
Great supporting cast.
Yeah,
phenomenal supporting cast.
Yeah, for sure. What you think about the movie?
Nah, we cousins. You know what I'm saying? Listen, so many lines, so many captivating moments in there. I told you, like I opened up with the show, like when Stack had got changed over, and then they had the scene where they're talking to everybody in the barn, and he's trying to get Smoke to come out there.
Right.
The music playing in the background, the monologue, like the actual conversation he was having to get his brother to come, like basically like, bro, come on, like come with me, I need you. I'm not doing this without you. Like,
right.
In that moment, I'm watching it. I'm like, bro, what if Keon got bitten? He was like, bro, you seen Smoke Bell went out there, bro, and it was like, yeah, nah, bro, like, come, like we gotta close the door,
right?
And like, that's when I knew, like, well, I mean, of course, there were other great moments in the movie, but that right there cemented it for me, where I was like, yeah, I'm all the way in it right now.
Yeah. And
there was like, again, so many different elements to this movie. Oh my gosh, I seen in one of the interviews for the press run with Omar and Delroy talking. Delroy was talking about the interviewer brought up the scene where it was Delroy, Miles, and Michael B. Jordan in the car after they passed the prisoners.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
Bruh, when they started singing the blues song, because that's black people, like whenever we start dealing with something, we just, whatever it is that we do, if it's music, we gonna start playing music. If it's working out, we'll go work out. Bruh, they started, they told Miles to go ahead and start, or Preacher Boy or whatever.
Yeah,
they told him to start playing, Sammy, told him to start playing the guitar in the back. And Delroy just started off the top just going, which for black people, when we watch that, we know that's what we do.
Right.
But as I was listening to Delroy talk about that scene, yeah, that was improvised.
It makes sense. Makes sense.
But it felt that.
Yeah.
You felt that. Like as a people, like I know I felt it, so I know other people like me in the movie theaters is feeling it, you know what I'm saying? Right. I don't know other people not a part of our community how they felt about that, but just knowing the history of music with black people, especially around that time,
right,
and to know like he just got into it, because I mean I'm pretty sure he's not too far removed from that time, you know what I mean, as far as just not that far back, but just as far as Jim Crow.
He probably has a grandparent or
you know what I'm saying,
a parent, because he's an older statesman at this point, that would definitely had ties to a short.
That was another one of my favorite parts of the movie. But I think Delroy played his character to the T. Like, I think honestly, every supporting actor in this movie was able to hold their own so well that it really, we didn't need a whole lot of backstory on everybody. Everybody's relationship on camera was so strong. Right. I appreciated the love interest of everybody who had one in the story. Whether that's
definitely. I think everybody but Delroy pretty much had one. Literally everybody.
Yep, you're right. But one, we got love scenes, no nudity, no explicitness. Like,
it was explicit. It just didn't show everything. It was definitely explicit elements.
I think
there was a lot of snatching and ate. Trust.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Miles' character might have had the most explicit one. Like,
definitely.
Michael B. and old girl when he got bit, like. That really wasn't, you know what I mean?
It wasn't. So it wasn't as explicit.
And then when, what's that say? Jamie? Is that how you say her name? Jamie Lawson? I mean, not Jamie, I'm sorry.
You talking about what's her name? Mooney? Forgive me.
Yeah,
she also plays in Loki. She was the head.
Oh, that's her.
Yeah, she was.
That's what's up.
Head of the TVA. She did a hell of a job. She did a hell of a job. She was amazing. And I want you to finish the thought.
No, even when they had their love scene in the shack, you know what I'm saying? That was cool, but
it was intense, but it wasn't as graphic. You feel me?
And again, it helped the movie just flow. The movie flowed, you know what I mean? And so again, from the love interest of everybody in the show, all the way to Michael B. Jordan being able to really bring out each personality of playing twins.
Right.
A story time piece. Mixing it in with vampires, of course. Everybody loves the music. Was it a montage? Is that a montage?
Sure.
So when everybody's dancing, and we get the kind of the history of going from juke joint all the way up to prime time, modern day times in the club and everything.
Right.
Phenomenal, of course. At first, I ain't gonna hold you. It snapped me out of my mental where I was at watching the movie, because I was like, are we about to go somewhere else with this?
Right.
But I got it, and I was able to get back into it.
Right.
So again, just being able to understand. We've been watching movies for so long, watching different actors, and being able to understand what everybody's able to bring to this film, what it represents. Again, I know you said we're gonna talk about Ryan here in a minute, but just knowing more about his background and then understanding the why he chose to do the movie the way he did it. Listening to the Breakfast Club interview, like
that was crazy. That was crazy.
I kind of want. I'm ready to go see it again because I really still feel like it's so much more that I didn't get to see or didn't unpack throughout it.
Right.
Oh my gosh, my bad. And we can move on through this, but bro, I left early. Not before the movie ended, but I didn't see the end.
Oh, you didn't see the end credits?
I didn't know there was ending credits.
Yeah, of course not. That. From my experience with the movie was towards the end.
Did you know the first time?
No.
Okay.
But nobody was rushing to get up. Everybody was chilling and just,
I noticed that, and I stayed
cooling.
there.
So that's why we all stayed. We didn't know, of course. And the end credit scene was pretty cool.
There's two of them.
There's a post credit. There's a mid credit, post credit, and it's really one sequence. It's not really like how it didn't really feel like a Marvel movie to me. It felt like it all. I didn't feel the need to get up essentially to get ready to leave because I was like, is this everything? Just for whatever instinctual reason. But it was interesting. It allows it to go a few different ways, but it has some powerful scenes in it as well. Because they brought an actual, I don't know if he's jazz or whatever. I don't, forgive me for whoever the actual musician is. They had a real musician in it, yeah. Which was dope. Yeah, exactly. And he's like a professional. Yeah, exactly. So.
Let me ask you this real quick. Yeah. Because I've seen people talking about this online.
Sure.
So, do you think that when we had the KKK scene at the end, do you think Smoke was hiding in Stack and his girl in that barn?
Probably. I don't know if they hid in the barn. They could have left way earlier.
What's her name?
Haley Steinfeld?
Is it Joan? No,
who's
that?
About? The white girl? That's Haley
Mixed
Steinfeld.
girl. Okay.
Yeah, and
oh yeah, I didn't even know that was the Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Gwen. She's also
Time out.
Bishop.
Time out.
Yeah. Josh Allen's
what's my man's name? Yeah, that was tripping.
Shamik or what's his name? Shamik something.
Bruh,
listen,
get it together. It ain't even that deep, bruh.
Listen,
and you Shamik, dog. It ain't even that deep, bruh.
The few key things in the movie for me was the connection of Michael B. Jordan playing the twins. Was just, it didn't take him to get to the vampire scene. It was the opening scene when he went to light, when they hopped out of the car and he lit the cigarette for him the whole 9 yards. Then they hopped in the whip, drove down, and they was like, yo, we need to split up, do X, Y, and Z. And they hugged each other and they said, I love you, and the whole 9 thing. I was like, oh yeah, I'm all the way in. I don't want nothing to happen to these two. I just want to see the story with them continue to go on and on and on. So, unfortunately, in the trailer, we knew one of them was going to turn to a vampire. So, had I not seen that and that was a part of it in the movie, that would crush me. But it wasn't really. He didn't make you feel sad in this movie because of the way the pace and how it moved and how the characters kind of reacted to being turned into vampires. So I appreciated that for sure. He went unconventional with Smoke's love interest being a more plus size black woman, which I thought was an interesting choice. And they had a pretty deep story as well. I thought
without going deep into that, but why do you think it was interesting?
Because that's not a prototypical look for what a love interest for a main character to be. That's why. Like Haley Steinfeld, yeah, she's a big name. She's beautiful. She has sex appeal, and then the black lady has been only seen, which I don't know. I hate to say the black lady, but Winnie, whatever, however you say her name, I don't want to disrespect her, I just don't want to belabor the point. She was never seen in a, you probably would not see her in a high budget film in that position. Is why it's interesting.
I didn't even recognize her from Loki. So I get what you're saying. And I only asked that question only because.
And I didn't know there was love interest at first. I didn't foresee that until they actually started being physical.
I thought that might have been his mother.
That's what I thought, because that's how we train to think when we see somebody with that appearance. That's the whole point. So when
especially when she said, how you know this, that, and the third,
protecting, and she had a motherly type characteristic because she was seeming like she was protective of him. You know what I'm saying? With giving him the juju bag and all that. So I'm like, oh, this is like somebody to take care of him. But then I didn't realize that was his love interest. So that's the whole point. You don't really see like, oh, this is his baby mother who he left and went up to Chicago and did the whole thing. So yeah, I thought that was very interesting.
I only say that's for the time period though, because you know back then.
No, for the time period. For now, we can see that right now. I'm saying for a big budget
for it to
movie,
be a film, yeah.
That is the only reason I'm saying. If we're being realistic, right? If we're being realistic, that's like we can see anybody.
That's not getting casted in 2025.
Right. That's all.
So, but to add to your point, it's another reason why I loved it, because we know I mean, Cass is knocking that down back, like period. Well, even now, but definitely back then, like that's nothing to see a man with his wife looking like that.
Right, 100%.
3, 4, 5 kids.
I'm just thinking in the movie star Hollywood mentality. Because Haley Steinfeld, of course, she's going to be your lead co-star as far as love interest. That makes sense. She played. She went crazy. She went for it. I'm just gonna say, and she says allegedly that's a real story. Allegedly her mom's really her mom's father really half black, which is just nuts to me. Because I was like, there's no way she just coming like this. Like she sounds.
I loved both of their stories, bro.
Right.
Like
it's not a character in this movie that I didn't like.
No, for sure.
It's not a character in the movie I didn't like.
Speaking on Smoke's love interest and their story, that was cool from the perspective of we got to see that's more the mature relationship. You know, they try to have a family. He actually had his lady waiting on him, like doing this, that, and third. Where Stack, they look like they were the more young, fun-having couple, but you know it's kind of dangerous because of obviously like she's mixed and everything like that. So
for sure,
as soon as she comes on the screen, and they have their scene the way they do,
went crazy,
bro. I'm hollering because I'm like, you see how uneasy Stack is because we in public, girl, like you tripping,
right? But she cares nothing about it.
Because of her white privilege, but I'm also dying because I'm like, yeah, that's a black girl. Like you sleep.
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
Exactly.
Like whole swag. I'm like, how can she do that good?
Bruh, when Miles approaches her in the juke joint, it was like, you know, I'm with the twins, and she hit him with the boy. If you don't get on my face, like 2025, I heard black girl.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
man,
I don't want to call it a black sin, but she definitely had the whole demeanor nailed. And there's not a lot of white women that can just do that. So it just blew my mind. It was just like, what is going on with her? Like, and then when she says that, oh yeah, she might be from around the way, essentially. So it just makes sense. It's cool. So shout out to her. But she plays good in everything I've seen.
No, definitely.
She's two Marvel characters simultaneously with Gwen Stacy in Spider-Verse, and she's Kate Bishop, Hawkeye. So I don't know if you watched that TV show, but anyway,
Hawkeye's
that's
I didn't watch Hawkeye.
I forget my man's name, Jeremy Renner. Yeah, and he does a hell of a job. Shout out to him. So yeah, that the sentence was dope. I'm definitely supporting this as much as I can, telling people to go see it, whole 9 yards. And most people like it. It's a cultural thing, essentially, at this point. It's kind of taking over the culture as far as film is concerned, especially in the African-American culture for sure. So next we're going to get into Game Changer, highlights athlete, designer, actor, or creator who's shifting the culture in sports, fashion, and entertainment. So we got to go Ryan Coogler just to piggyback off of that.
Right.
So the Sunday before the movie came out, which was maybe 2 Sundays ago, I watched the interview on the Breakfast Club, immediately sent it to you because it
that was a profound interview, bro.
It shook me up a little bit.
That was a very profound interview.
Because he's a little older than us. I believe he's 38.
38?
Yeah. And one thing that just jumps out is when he speaks and he has this Oakland accent that's very, very heavy. And it's not just Oakland. If you're from California, you kind of have that accent. To a degree, it's just some people it's more prominent than others, and I knew about Ryan Coogler. I never heard him talk, so that immediately jumped. I'm like, what? This guy sounds like Marshawn Lynch. Like, what is going on? Literally, I think him and Marshawn the same age.
His voice mad deep,
crazy, and he goes on to tell the story about how he makes this movie, and like we said, or we mentioned earlier. All of the things that he's done prior to this point have been great. And like he has no misses. He's very few directors can say they've accomplished what he's accomplished going into this film. So to come into this film with all that, for him to go on this interview run, and in particular the Breakfast Club interview, for obvious reasons, they can kind of pull different types of questions out of him, give him a different feel, comfortability.
My bad. Respectfully, breaking news. Shiloh got picked up by the Buccaneers.
Okay, shout out to Shiloh.
Yeah, shout out to Shiloh.
I forgot to mention him. Shout out to Shiloh. Yeah,
we didn't get picked yet. We were just waiting, but
shout out to Shiloh. Was that what round is we in right now?
I think he just got free. Yeah,
undrafted free. Okay, cool. That's good for him. Shout out to him. But that Breakfast Club just shook me up because of what inspired him to make this movie was him knowing some twins,
right?
Him driving down in the South, I forget at what point in time over the last few years that he did it, driving past the cotton field, which they portrayed in the movie.
Yeah.
We from the South. So it's a little different for us. I've never really been not a part of the South in my formative years up until this point. So him kind of giving his perspective from being from out west and knowing like pretty much all black people obviously come from the South due to the slave trade and going to get different opportunities elsewhere. 99% of us at some point had come back into Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, North Carolina. All those different states is where we first touched down and pretty much stayed for the most part. We in North Carolina right now as we record this. So, and everybody that's from any part of the United States, a black person, they're essentially coming out of the South at some point.
Right.
So for him to go say he felt compelled to hop out the car, just go pick a piece of cotton and just was inspired, and then he goes into the blues element of it, of how it's impacted so many musical genres. It might be the most impactful musical genre that we have or that has ever existed is just crazy, because I'm like, wow, I never really thought about it like that. So all those different elements coming into it, his passion about talking about it, his relationship with his wife, and how they've kind of been locked in since college, which is also inspirational. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And y'all, look what y'all have done, just believing in each other the whole 9 yards. So, and
yep, throw it out there.
Him playing football just blew my mind, because I'm like, oh.
I thought you were gonna talk about Denzel paying for school.
No, that's Chadwick's story. That was a cool story. But yeah, so that's why I sent it to you. Ryan is one of the better, if not, he's in his age bracket, he's probably the best, hands down. Outside of Nolan, Spielberg, Cameron, Villeneuve, Villeneuve has a similar trajectory. He's just a little bit older. Denis Villeneuve, he made a whole bunch of movies. I don't know if you're familiar with him. But in particular, the Dune movies, he's made.
Which I'm
Sicario.
A big fan of.
Yeah, Sicario is another one. He got quite a few. I don't want to get into the weeds with that, but his track record is crazy. So those are like the only people that I can really say definitively probably have a little bit better. Well, yeah, definitely have a better history than him, just because they're older. So shout out to Ryan. He's creating waves. He's impacted the culture. This is a historic year for him. This will lead him into making different movies as well. Just like, not like this. Oh yeah, one other thing. I hope there's I don't want it to be a sequel because of how it ended. If Smoke and Stack not together, I don't even know if I want it. You know what I'm saying? So that was like the heart of.
Oh yeah, because Smoke did die at the end. That's right.
Yeah. So
that was a great ending too.
Yeah, definitely. In the post credit scenes, it's crazy.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've been to the movies in a while to where like we've left and had this feeling like talking to each other. I think, what was the last Marvel movie that came out?
Brave New World. That was like last month.
Yeah,
or 2 months ago.
I hit you about that, and I said, that was cool. I wasn't as ecstatic as I was, about phase what was that? Phase 4?
Yeah, phase 4 and 5. We in phase 5 right now.
No, but what was the climax? And then we had
1,
to start
2,
over.
3.
Okay, so yeah, phase 3. Once phase 3 ended, I told you like phase 4. We all know it was a little shaky.
Yeah.
So phase 5, as we're about to go into a whole new rollout of movies, it was just like, I liked how it was the start of something new. I had my own little gripes about it, whatever.
Right.
But I felt like it was a good movie because it's been a while since I've seen what I would call a good movie. Sinners takes the cake.
Totally different level. Totally different. Yeah. Totally different.
Provocative, thought provoking. Like, man, as a black person, how I felt not entitled, but how I felt seen. I felt
connected. Sure.
Yeah, I definitely felt the connection, and I also felt like he gave us some history just into that as well.
Yeah,
without giving us the whole slave
he didn't beat us over the head. He started a little in a different era where we could have, we were starting to do our own thing like Smoke and Stack did. Like they left out this plantation to get on their own thing, which I thought was powerful within itself.
You pretty much said everything there is to say. Just giving Ryan his flowers, man.
Sure.
Definitely took inspiration away from him being a football player, because anybody who really played football past high school and college and was able to really dedicate themselves to it and also be able to perform at a certain level past being just a bench rider or whatever the case may be, like you do pick up quality skills for life. You do pick up characteristics and like I said, just skills that are able to help you push past maybe adversity or just whatever hump may come at you and whatever it is that you're trying to do in life than the average person.
Right.
You know, that was just more of a reignition for me. We talk all the time, like inspiration isn't really too much of a thing for us to get going these days.
Right.
Because, you know, that comes and goes. But when I chose to say reigniting because it's just like literally, there goes a me. There goes literally another me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just
right.
Whatever.
And that's the whole thing. When I heard Ryan talking, do his whole thing, I was like, I see myself in him. Not saying he's not trying to minimize him because I'm just a regular Joe Blow. But his vision and what he's interested in, his curiosities, the things that he's drawn towards, I'm like, oh my God, like, yeah, I feel like I know this guy. And he's from Oakland, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
and it's outside the box. Like I'm pretty sure he has interests similar to you and I as well. Just
sure.
Because, you know, he's one of us.
And he's a receiver. He played receiver. That just blew my mind. I was like, and he was decent. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I get it. That's what I'm saying. If you're able to really put in the time and be a certain type of person when you play football, like I know you have certain characteristics about yourself. I know you have certain tools and skills that'll be able to take you further than the average Joe, even if it's an average person that play football with you.
Right.
Like,
100%.
Like, it's hard to explain on these mics, dog, because I'll get into like that competitive mode just of being able to break it down. But at the end of the day, bro, shout out to Ryan, man. Ryan, anytime I see your name on something, you got my money, bro.
Right, and yeah, I'm supporting everything that he does, and I'm gonna be tuned in and looking forward to his future as a filmmaker. Yeah, for sure. So, where we at with it? Yeah, we like right at an hour, so we probably did about 50 minutes. And in closing, I think the couple of other topics, I don't think they're really relevant this week. That to really talk about, but I will say this. This is I'm gonna go on a nerd tangent. They're re-releasing a Star Wars movie from 2005, which I never got to watch in theaters at that time. Revenge of the Sith is when Anakin goes bad.
You said re-releasing? Like putting it back out or redoing it?
No. Re-releasing.
Okay, cool.
It's 20th anniversary.
I did see that one though, but I'm definitely down.
Got my ticket. I'm already going. I was supposed to go Thursday. I just had to do some homework, so I'm going tomorrow at noon. If you're interested,
what's dude name?
Go check it out.
Red face spikes.
Oh, Darth Maul. Yeah, he's not in it.
That's not this one. Damn,
that's Phantom Menace.
Anakin
was a kid.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon Jinn was in it. AKA Liam Neeson.
That's early 2000.
That's like 99.
Yeah, like yeah.
That came out in 99. Then
that's the one I
Attack of the Clones came out in like 02, or I believe. And that's whenever Anakin was a little older, him and Padme kind of formed their relationship, and they kind of realized the Sith were a thing. And then the third one is when Anakin gets taken over by the dark side.
Yep.
Him and Obi-Wan have the fight.
You're supposed to be the chosen one.
Yeah, the legendary.
Got them arms cut off.
And the crazy, and I'm putting that up, and I'm supporting that because this. So if you're in the Star Wars sphere, it's been very chaotic. There was a movie in particular, and I'm gonna make this real quick. There was a particular movie called The Last Jedi that was made back in 2010s, I forget which year, maybe 2012, 2011, 2013, 14, whatever. Divided the fan base. And since then, it has been an extremely toxic environment to be a Star Wars fan on any level. It's been horrible. So when the prequels came out, the three movies I just named, Phantom Menace, Clone Wars, Revenge of the Sith, there was a lot of backlash. They said it wasn't good, they were bad, blah, 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 blah. But the fan base now has turned full circle because of all the content that we've got recently being as bad as it's been, to go support these movies and to realize like, oh, these were kind of good. Like these were actually a lot better than what we had.
I like them.
Yeah, because this is our childhood. The originals is what people hold at the highest level for obvious reasons.
I can't get into them. I tried.
I can, but yeah, I'm a little bit different of a nerd. I go a little deeper. I like older movies. I like 60s, No, really just 70s, 80s, 90s movies. Love them. But anyway, so just saying that, go support it. If you guys want to send a message to filmmakers who and things that they might not have known, or we might not knew how good we had it. Now that it's getting to the point that it's getting, so go support it. But yeah, definitely going to check it out. First time I'll be seeing it in theaters, seen the movie 100 times, so it'll be interesting to see on a big screen. Hopefully it's a good crowd in there. So
keep going to see Sinners, especially if you ain't.
Yeah,
I'm just running it back.
And I just brought that up because if we got to support the films that we like, the movie theaters are kind of like in a weird space. People are more willing to wait to watch whatever they want to watch on streaming services, which I get, but because it's cheaper for one.
I think that's because some of the movies just ain't been good like that.
Yeah, and that's, a lot of movies ain't been good.
We are moviegoers.
Yeah, and Brave New World, a lot of people didn't like it. But and we'll have to talk about this next week. I'll be done seeing it. There's a movie that comes out this Thursday called Thunderbolts, which they're saying the rumors and
I'm tired of the trailers. I just want to go see it.
All they're saying is it's one of the better movies Marvel's made recently, if not the best over the last 3-4 years.
Listen,
so I'm gonna check it out.
I don't know the storyline.
Don't need
I'm not
to.
familiar with
Don't
it.
need good. That's good.
I'm gonna just go.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's gonna be good.
Right, and that exactly. So that'll be good. So shout out to everybody. Appreciate you guys for watching. Be on the lookout for the next episode. Like, subscribe, tune in. Let us know what you think. Give us some comments. Give us some feedback. We out.